Rise and shine, wild ones. It's Bernadette. I have soared in with your daily pick a card tarot reading for Monday, November 30th, 2020. And I am soaring. I am wearing my feather scarf because guess who finally showed up for y'all? What? The Ace of Swords, the Hawk. Hawk energy for your Monday. Are you ready? What's the song you know you want to sing right now? Come on, sing it with me. I believe you can fly. I believe you can touch the sky. I do think about it every night and day, 'cause I know you can soar. I want to see you running through that open door. Yes, at 6 o'clock in the morning. I haven't warmed up. That's the best it gets this morning. So, y'all, this is some big energy. Sit down, take notes. I know I'm like, I want you to soar, but I want you to sit down and take notes. Okay, let's jump right in there. So the Ace of Swords is a no-joke card. And one of the biggest reasons it's a no-joke card, really for any day, but today, my gosh, there were a lot of swords that showed up for last week's readings and whatnot. So this whole thing of swords keeps going on and on and on. And what that tells me is you guys have just been through a time and are really just kind of finishing up a time where you're going through making a lot of decisions, and you're cutting out the stuff that no longer serves you, and you're cutting away the ties that bind you. You know, even if those ties are in yourself. Look at that. I got an errant hair sticking out. It's my feathers. I can't ever keep them, you know, in track. I need a hair and makeup person. Somebody come to Gainesville and be my hair and makeup person. Because I'm not very good at it. But anyway, so if we take a look at the traditional meanings of the Rider-Waite card, the Ace of Swords, which is what I read from. I read from my own award-winning deck, the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, and the tarot portion of it is based on the Rider-Waite, traditional Rider-Waite meanings. We take a look and we see that the hand of God is coming out of a cloud. It's surrounded by this amazing halo of all this starburst and this sword, and then it's got the crown on top. I mean, this card is about raw power. It is remarkable victory. It is things that you, my gosh, the biggest dreams that you have, the things that you want to accomplish, that is this. This is the day for it. So what's interesting is the root chakra is the chakra of today, of Mondays, and the moon is the ruling planet, and that's all about emotions and whatnot. And so when I see a card like this that means lift off, but it's attached to the root chakra, I know that that's a call for a client or a friend or family or whoever I'm flipping a card for at the moment to make sure that they've got their grounding up under them. That they, you know, kind of like a rocket. It sits on this massive base, and that ginormous thing, you can't tip it this way or that way. It is on that base until it's time to lift off. And then those things come off, whatever's holding it, and it just jets into the sky. It's kind of the same with hawks, or really any other kind of bird. They're really solid and steady on the branches or posts or fences or wherever it is that they land. You'd be hard pressed to knock them off of there. But when they want to go, that's it, man, like a bottle rocket, or, you know, like a hawk. It's off and it's gone. So something is going on today with the air energy, which of course can be swords. Fire energy can be swords. It just depends on how you're reading, you know, the card at that moment. But you know, you also have to bring into account feathers and all of feather symbolism. And that's just a whole nother video for a whole nother day, because, you know, it's no joke when people are like, is it true that finding pennies is a sign from this and this and this? Well, once upon a time, it may not have been true, but now that so many people believe it, that belief is now a living, breathing entity. It's a thought system that has now got life in it. And just like with feathers, people think, well, that's my grandma. If they find a cardinal, or my mom, they find a red cardinal feather, or maybe somebody attached to blue jays, or to, you know, if they see a white feather, they always think it's an angel. Some people think that feathers, period, are angels. And all of those beliefs through time has created a real thing. And so if you see it and it strikes you in your heart that it reminds you of that, then that's the message that you're getting. It's a true and accurate message. You can trust in that. So with the Ace of Swords, remember that swords, and as we learned last week, and again, thank you to the young lady who pointed out, I was talking about white buffalo and pentacles, and she put in the comments, because I was like, two double-sided coin, double-edged sword, that kind of thing. She's like, well, actually, coins have three sides. There's the top, the bottom, or the front and the back, and then it has the whole side that goes around it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And I equate that in the South just very quickly. We've got a saying, there are always three sides to the truth: your truth, the other person's truth, and then that rim around the middle has got to be the truth that only God or the universe or Buddha or whatever it is you believe in knows. And she's right. So when you are thinking about those things that you want to accomplish and that soaring that you want to do, remember one thing: swords are not toys. They're not. They can be toys, but it's all fun and game until somebody puts an eye. It's all fun and games until somebody puts an eye out, right? And a flimsy old plastic sword from wherever toy store or whatever store can be just as dangerous in some ways as a katana sword. So be real careful where y'all are tossing your swords and brandishing your swords and what kind of things you're lopping off and how you're lopping them off, that kind of thing. Be careful about that, because with, it's like, oh, I don't know. It's like planes. It's like anything else. You can use, meaning a plane can carry life-giving medicine and life-giving supplies to somebody, or it could carry a nuclear weapon. What's the difference, right? What's the difference in that cargo, right? But a sword is the same kind of energetic thing. A sword can be used to fight tyranny, or it can be used for murder. Regardless of how justified you might think it is, it's still murder, right? Don't y'all watch Criminal Minds? Okay, so the symbolism of the Ace of Swords in the traditional, again, the tarot card meanings, it really explains this concept beautifully. And when you start to use rationale, when you're going through a spiritual time, at some point, your marriage of spirituality and the rational mind may meld together because you're so deeply integrated into your belief systems and your I don't know, just the way that you act and react and interpret and all that kind of thing based on your belief systems. They just are so integrated. It's just a natural kind of thing for you. You don't have to stop and switch from your rational mind to your spiritual beliefs. They're just one and the same. You're one and the same. And I love this card because it helps you get there. If you look in the back, there's a gray barren mountain range. That's the limits of what you know and you think are possible. But the blue glaciers are the dreams and the hopes that might have become frozen in your mind. And you may not, you may have resigned yourself to thinking, well, this is my life, this is all that is. But that's where this card comes in. It's presenting you with, it's hot in here, y'all, or I'm having a hot flash. It's presenting you with other possibilities, and it's asking you to wake up and realize until you're, pushing up daisies, and even then, my God, you're an eternal soul. You're going to be on and off to other dreams and this and that and the other. It's asking you to bring forth those dreams and bring forth those passions. And again, this is a card about big things, but that means what's big to you. What is big to you? Interestingly, since I started really filming these daily videos and turning some attention to, putting out videos for people, they've been asking for them for a long time, and I was just really like, I don't wanna. The amount of people that have emailed me or private messaged me that also want to start their own YouTube channel, or they want to teach classes online, or become readers, or they want to integrate the psychic and the spirit totem and power animals, or the channeling, or the mediumship, or tarot, or whatever into their healings. My gosh, it's been a waterfall. It just keeps coming and coming and coming, and that's great, because the more I'm not one of those people that get all hanky when somebody asks me for advice or help, because their mind instantly goes to, that's competition. Maybe they'll get ahead of me. Y'all, please, there are 7 billion people on this planet. I'm pretty sure there's enough for everybody. And furthermore, I don't do this for any other reason other than this world is some kind of place. You see the tired look in my eyes. I know I agreed to come here, but it can wear you out and wear you down. And the more people that are awakened, the more people that I don't know, the more people that are believers, and I'm not trying to get anybody to drink the woo-woo Kool-Aid. It's not all about that. It's about what it does to you as a person when you walk a spiritual path and you start incorporating the understanding of the messages and the synchronicity and all those magical, mystical things that happen every single day. I'm doing a video actually later today. I can't stand it anymore. I got to get this out there. um, it's the 5 top signs you're a true psychic. And people are going to be really surprised because a lot of other information out there is about the usual things. And I'm like, that's just the surface stuff. Let's talk about the science of this. Let's talk about the real reasons of this. And let's dig deeper. Let's dive deeper. And that is the Ace of Swords, is that because it's about your dreams. It's about what you want to accomplish. Now, when this card has been pulled for you all today, the animal allies have sent it to you. Remember, it's time for you to look behind the curtain. Once you open this door, right? And that's what that whole, poor R. Kelly. Oh, that poor guy. Ooh, what a tough contract he signed up for. And yes, I know all the allegations against him, and yes, I know, and I get it, but that's a whole other conversation about why his soul chose to do that and what he's teaching everybody and so on and so forth. So, in himself. So anyway, when you open this door of whatever this is that the Ace of Swords and Hawk are helping you fly toward, in that song it reads, I can see, I sang it as I can see you running through that open door, because I can see it every time I talk to you guys. I just know you can do it. And I watch some of you do it, and I get the stories of y'all doing it. I'm so proud of you, and I love you, and I respect you. And anyway, I'm gonna get all teary-eyed. But anyway, that song the lyrics are, I can see me running through that open door. Yes, good, excellent. And then remember, once you peek behind the curtain, you can't unsee it. Now, that's a really great thing over time. For some people, they start sucking wind because all of a sudden they're living in a reality, or want to live in a reality that maybe their circle does not live in. And that can cause a little bit of uncomfortableness, or it cannot. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Oh, that will be up to you. You can mitigate that. You can control that. I mean, you can't control other people, but you can control your actions and your reactions and your thoughts and all of that. So one thing is just to remember that being a good winner is potentially more important than being a good loser. Once what you are accomplishing, y'all, the green monster is alive and well. It is. It seems like the further you go, the more people you piss off and you trigger. Oh well, they're capable of it themselves. But the Ace of Swords is here to tell you that you're moving into a time that if you will walk through that open door and you will believe you can fly and soar, it's like right there. Now, having said that, let me say this. It's Hawk wanted to be the Ace of Swords for any variety of reasons. They are just some of the most amazing prey birds, predator birds. They're quite something, and they're very much like, how owls and eagles have that European, and I'm above you, literally. They really have that look about them. And I'm going to tell y'all a story in just a minute. It is heartbreaking, but you gotta hear it because it's just such a humongous lesson, right? So that said, owls and eagles and hawks and buzzards and all those birds, in the raptors, in that category, they have a very playful side to them. My God, they love shiny things and they love to play and so there is that side. But hawk sees 4 to 8 times better than humans, and its eyesight is amongst the best of all animals. And so when you are looking behind that curtain or that door we talked about earlier, be clear, you're going to see clearly. and it's ultimately going to be, you're going to be so proud of yourself. And I keep hearing from spirit that a bunch of y'all out there today of all days really need to hear that somebody's proud of you. The animal allies are proud of you. They all always are. I'm proud of you. I will always be, every day in every way. And if that's, if you're okay with if you're okay with that and being like, who's that lady, that crazy lady? I don't know her. I don't care if she's proud of me. If you're needing to hear it today, you heard it here first. Okay. No matter what you think, you heard it here first. So when we think about being able to soar, being able to fly, taking that sword, and which way are you going to brandish that sword? Hopefully it's for the good. Hawk will put you on notice not to limit your vision. Not to limit your vision. You can always fly higher, you can always soar more, but the energy doesn't stop there. When hawk focuses on something, really, when any bird of prey focuses on something, they are, let me tell you the story. So some years ago, I lived on 10 acres, beautiful property. The front 4 acres were all cleared. It's where we had our house and, all that. And then the back 6 acres were protected wetlands. No one could ever build. And there was like a 400 or 800 or 1,000 acre tree farm in back of that, right? Like critters like you never saw. So one day, because I had my office where it had this ginormous window so that as I was doing all my computer work and all my readings and everything, I could sit there and look out. And man, I heard this ruckus, just this ruckus, which is crazy because it's a red brick house. So I'll go outside and I see this poor little red cardinal just flying backwards, obviously afraid, and I look up and here comes a hawk. That hawk never even looked, just flew by the cardinal, never looked at it, put out a claw, snatched that poor little bird, and landed with 1 foot in a tree, right where I couldn't get to him. Now I'm shaking the tree and I'm trying to get him to let go of that cardinal, and he never even looked at me. He never looked at me until I got the pool sweeper thing, or the pool net, and very gently I'm trying to nudge this hawk to let go of this bird. Now there are some of you out there that will tell me I'm upsetting the natural balance of the apple cart. I get it. I totally get it. But just like that video that's going around right now, that old boy here in Florida, who that small gator jumped up, and because he should have never had his dog by the water's edge. Now he's a country boy, he knows that. And this gator walked and just zipped out of the water and snatched up his poor little puppy. And that man jumped in that water, never looking for mama gator, never looking for snakes. And he got under the water and he picked that alligator up by its jaws and he forced that alligator to let his puppy go. And it's the only animal rescue video I wanted to see. The only one I shared. I can't stand them, so please don't start putting animal rescue videos, please, in the comments below. Please, I'll delete them. I don't want to see them. But it was, man, it was something. And puppy only had like a few little, the puppy's no worse for wear. It's fine. It was underwater for like 10 seconds. It was fine. But should he have let nature take its course? No. Am I always going to rescue something that I see in need? Yes, that's always going to happen. But here's the bottom line. I was very gentle, and I thought, well, God Almighty, at least, I don't want to have to net this bird and bring him down here and get that old cardinal. Well, let me tell you something. That hawk looked down at me like, stop before I come for you too. I wasn't afraid. But I'm an animal communicator. I heard the message that hawk said. There wouldn't have been anything I could have done for that bird at that point, unbeknownst to me. And that was it. I stopped, I honored, I went inside and cried the whole afternoon. Ooh, I'm getting teary-eyed talking about it now. But here's why I bring all this up today. If you want ice cream and you don't have any, you can be focused and get on a mission and go right on down to whatever your favorite ice cream getting place is and get you some ice cream. That's not the same as being focused on something that you want with more than anything. And when you want something more than anything, I'm not suggesting you snatch baby cardinals out of the sky. Okay, I'm not suggesting you hurt anybody. But you do have to snatch onto that dream and not let it go. And you've got to pursue it like your very life depends on it, depending on what you want to achieve and depending on how important it is to you. And things are important to different people for different reasons at different levels. And I'm not suggesting that, you know, if you just want to be able to tap dance better, that that's any less of a dream than somebody who wants to, you know, build a business that turns into franchises. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whatever it is to you, this is your time to soar. And when you take a look at hawk, you know, in spirit animal meanings, or, you know, the hawk symbolism and meaning, it's also all about understanding the timing, which then goes back to the root chakra of today, which goes back to the heart chakra, which goes back to when do I pick up my sword and go for it. The timing has to be right. And only you and the animal allies, or whatever it is that you work with, whatever entities you work with, which is really yourself, because remember, the universe is you and you are the universe, you're going to know. And when you get that lift off, none of this is said to scare you or intimidate you or stop you in your flow, but it is said to say that going back to a good winner may be more important than a good loser. Because when people are winning, it can skew their vision a little bit. Sometimes, not always, but it can skew their vision a bit. So, you know, learn to trust your inner guidance. And when you take a look at the sacred stories, the ancient stories and myths of, you know, hawk, they're connected to like Horus, who was keen with battle proficiency, Jupiter, who oversees laws, order, and justice. The Celts, oh my God, they revered hawk as a messenger from the heavens or other realms because it can fly so high. Native Americans honor hawk, you know, because they feel like they're a vigilant guardian. And that is also something about hawk energy that I would tell you. They are very, very fierce predator or protectors. They really are, because they're birds of prey. So if you've got something you want to protect, inside of you, outside of you, hawk medicine can keep you alert. It can make you see that even the most ordinary of a daily experience is actually, you know, if you're paying attention, it can be much more extraordinary. Because I have to tell you, after that heartwarming story about hawk and little baby red cardinal, I had to really sit back and think. When I see things, people, animals, whatever, that need rescuing, is that something I've been bringing into my awareness because I need to play the hero? Is that something where I agreed to show up in those times to do the rescuing for that person, that critter, or whatever, because of some sacred contract, past life thing we have together? And I don't really know the answer to that. I just know, and there's, you know, there's a lot of other things I think of, but I do know that I'm just at this point not the kind of person that can sit back while something needs rescuing. One day I'll tell you the story of where was it at Publix, and these old boys had a slingshot, and they were shooting tons of birds, getting the rafters there at Publix, and they pick up all the food in the parking lot and out there. Woo! About had a throwdown with those boys. They had to go get the Publix manager, and these two big old good old boys bailed out of their truck. It was just a scene, but I didn't care, because they were not going to shoot any more of those birds. But that's a story for another day. But hawk medicine is no joke, because again, it's a bird of prey. Now, you can, if you see hawk coming to you a lot, realize that's hawk as a spirit animal trying to, hello, pecking on your window, doing their wings like this, so that you can wake up, so that you can fly with them and see, you know, hey, this is what's going on. If you identify with hawk as your totem animal, man, you are a warrior, but a very sage, very wise warrior, like an elder of some kind, like a tribal elder or a matriarch or patriarch in your family, because you see the big vision and you're real quiet about it. You hold all that power inside of you. You don't just, you know, you're not out there blabbing about it and displaying it for the world to see. You must be quite something. And I just, man, I deeply honor you. Now, if you're going to invoke Hawk as your power animal, or you're going to unite your spirit with Hawk as the power animal, Hawk lives inside of you. That can be for a number of things. It can be so that you see things with a more discerning eye, so that as you're flying, you can look out over and see the bigger picture. It can be where, oh my gosh, that's gotta be it. I've been thinking the whole time, I'm feeling like there's a message that's not delivered yet, and here it is. Why do people feel the need to make an apology for being accomplished? Why do they feel the need to make an apology for accomplishing something or doing well or growing more or bigger or whatever? I just don't understand why they do that. Their time could be better spent if it was spent on giving thanks or looking how to do it bigger and better. Because I'm going to tell you something. Here's what I know. Again, I have no empirical data for this, but I bet you a dime to a donut if I could poll y'all, the people that are watching these videos, my videos, and videos like them, they're talking about spirituality and self-actualization and the world of spirituality and tarot cards and metaphysics and all that kind of stuff. $1,000 says every one of y'all are trying to figure out how you can help the world be better, how you can help more people. So why would you want to stymie that? Why would you want to put your light under a bushel? Why would you want to be tethered in a cage? Why wouldn't you want to soar? Why wouldn't you want to make it be as big as it can possibly be? And you don't have time for the naysayers. You don't have time. Animals do not have time for listen. I have a friend. He is from Zimbabwe. I don't know. Bengali. I don't remember. But he signs his emails to his friends. A lion never has to tell you they're a lion. That's a big lesson. A hawk doesn't have to tell you they're a hawk. No, they don't. They just go on about being a hawk and in every most powerful way that they can. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. I can't wait to see how you soar. Tell us about all your soaring moments. Put it in the comments. Tell us what your dreams and hopes are if you're willing. And that way all the wild pack, remember you guys, you're part of the wild pack. And we can encourage you and support you in that and send hawk energy to you. You can ask the animal allies to send you hawk energy. You can invoke hawk energy and medicine from inside of you. And don't forget, your Ace of Swords, that's the card right there, y'all. Sleep with it under your pillow, meditate on it, tote it around in your purse, your pocket, your wallet, your whatever. I don't know, just do something. But this energy is big today, especially on a Monday, because remember, Mondays are about new beginnings. And as much as it's the moan day, not today. Today is your day to get rooted. Today is your day to feel the emotion of what this soaring is that you're going to do. So, you've got it. I know you do. And you know why? Because I know that all the time you remember to do what? To stay wild.